Hello everyone, Wrecker here. Wrecker runs DC Universe Online, coming at you this morning with my Earth tank build and guide for 2020. I've already did Ice, Rage, and Atomic. Now coming at you with Earth, and then after this I'm going to be switching to Fire so I can test that for you. I've ran this loadout through the Elite content and the Birds of Prey. I've done a little bit of Elite and Metal 2 with it. I've tested it pretty thoroughly and going to give you my build and loadout and why I do what I do with it. This is a brick tanking loadout. It's not an aftershock tanking loadout. You can use the aftershock tanking, and I didn't test it, and it's just a bunch of combos. There's videos out there on it. Obsidian Chill does a good job. He has a good video on aftershock tanking. It just didn't interest me. I really liked the brick tanking. Thought it was really solid and strong, and that's why I chose the brick route, and I'm going to share with you what I think is the strongest Earth tank build and loadout that's out there for you right now in 2020. So with all that said, we'll go ahead and take a look at Earth. As I was saying, there's two different ways to tank. When you first get Earth, you automatically get the Earth combos. We do use one thing in our loadout from the aftershock tree, the gemstone shield. I'll use that. You want to make sure you make that square button on your controller because that is a combo power. So you want, it's also a melee combo power. So you want to make sure that you got that as a square button in your loadout. It's just so much easier to combo it that way. We're brick tanking. When you get brick while in combat, when your brick's alive, your passive power regeneration is reduced. You regen power way slower and less with brick up, so you want to make sure you've got a weapons combo to regen some of your own power faster. Heat brick uses superpowers to restore and defend itself. Oh, excuse me. The Earth and Bond transform a portion of your incoming damage to brick while not blocking. So you don't want to block with this. You want to make sure you got Fortified Assault in your neck and your White Moss because this is not a blocking power. Not any of them are so far of the tank powers I've tested. When you block, it's actually detrimental to you. Very rare would you want to block just in a one-shot situation. But that's what brick does for you. He's going to take some of that damage for you, and but it doesn't stack with stone skin, so that's why we don't use that. Now the easiest way for me to show you how to allocate your skill points is just to allocate them myself. So I'm going to go in here and reset those skill points. And when we're doing the way I do my skill point allocation, I always start with my movement mode because I want to make sure that I get that right. I always go down to at least get the restraint resistance and the stun resistance. I think no matter what power, there's no think. I know no matter what power and no matter what role you use on DC Universe Online, those are essential for you to have. But very much so as a tank. And I want to make sure that after I get my flight, then I go into my weapons. As I said earlier, you want to make sure you get a combo so that you can regen your own power. As a tank, you want to use a weapon. You can use any weapon. I've tanked using any weapon. But you want to use a weapon that you can get a quick lunge with, because you're going to have to lunge bosses and knock them down. That's part of the mechanics in this game in tons of the content. So you have to. It's not a want to. If you're going to be a tank and be effective, you have to have a weapon that you can lunge. For the Earth power set, you need a weapon that you can regen power quickly, regenerate power quickly, and that's one of the reasons I use a one-handed, which beyond that's my iconic look also, but it really works together and helps to make up for that lack of you regenerating your own power by being Earth. Now, my other skill points. Oh, here's one of the reasons why I allocate the rest of my skill points. We look at Earth. I didn't go over that good. When you get your tank buff and it tells you what this does for you, you gain the following benefits. You gain defense equal to 65% of your dominance while not blocking. Again, you don't want to block. When you block, you're going to make this buff diminish and go away. So don't block. And this is why you go dominance first when you go into your skill point allocations, because it's 65% of your dominance. So you want your dominance absolutely as high as possible. And you see the PvP buffs at the bottom. So again, you gain 65% defense equal to 65% of your dominance while not blocking. So this is not a tank power. I have a lot of people ask me questions on my videos and they're like, I was blocking, then I died. Well, that's probably why you died. You were blocking. You're taking your buff away when you do that. Most of the tank powers, every one of them I've tested so far, you don't want to block. So don't block. Only on one-shot situations. Iconic powers, you can get that hard light shield, you use that just about every tank. It's a strongest shield in the game that's not a supercharge. It really works great. I get the lasso just in case I need it. I get in a situation where I'm two tanking sometimes in lead. I really like that for my single taunt. I'm looking forward to the new artifact that's going to come out in the next episode. That it's going to really change this mesmerizing lasso and how you'll be able to tether multiple ads and bosses all together on one lead. It looks really cool. I wish they had a PlayStation test because I would be on there testing it for y'all and showing you that, but we'll see that in the future. But I have that in my pocket in case I need to have a single target, or if I'm two tanking here in the lead or something like that. So make sure I got that. Then I'm going to go into my stat point allocation. You got to go down the middle, hybrid, so you get that extra bonuses. It says it's 5% dominance, restoration, and fight plus a 10% might. It's actually 10% dominance because when you're in tank role, your dominance is doubled, which is pretty awesome. Now I've got to get 20 to get down to the bottom. Remember, we want to go dominance first because of the way the buff is. I'm going to put 10 in critical healing chance and in critical healing magnitude. And this has been a glitch that it does that every time, no matter what. But that's okay. I still love DC. There's glitches and everything. But I want to put 10 there. And I'm going to put 10 there. Then after that, no matter how many skill points you have, put the rest of it in dominance. Now, if you're like me and you have skill points left over, dump the rest of it into health. You may want to put a little bit into restoration because it does increase your shield strength, but your shields are not as important as a earth tank because Brick is taking a portion of your damage to him, a big chunk of it. But if this is kind of your preference, you can go restoration here with the rest of it. I put a little bit into resto just to get the buff, to buff it up a little bit, and then I dump the rest into my health because I want my health to be pretty high because you take a lot of damage in higher end content. But now we're going to my loadout, and I always set my loadout up from left to right in the order of what I'm going to use. And we start there on the left, Earth and Grip, because I want to pull everything to me. And really cool, when Earth first came out, this was only a one target. You'd have to spam it. Now you don't have to. It pulls multiple targets. It's one of the cooler animations in the game to me. But I'm going to pull that first to get the aggression of the bosses and any of the enemies that are out there facing me. So I'm going to hit that first. Well, actually, the first power that I'm going to hit is going to be Brick. I'm going to already have Brick summoned because he is the man here. He's who you've got to have for this buff. But again, on my loadout though, from left to right, you're always going to have Brick up, so that's why I didn't talk about him first. Start that Earth and Grip, which I really like it. They changed it a while back, and I really like how it is now and pulls multiple targets. Hard Light Shield, I'm going to clip it with that and put that shield up to protect myself. Fortify Golem, every time that's up, I'm going to hit this. It provides Brick a heal over time for 6 seconds, so it's going to heal Brick, and you want to do that. You want to buff him. I always try to keep the totem out too. It damages nearby enemies and knocks down, so it helps with crowd control. And any of my golems, any of your golems up, get healing over time, so Brick gets more healing over time. Here's the gemstone shield that I talked about earlier. And you see I have it a melee button because you want to combo it. You just tap it 3 times, it increases the percentage of absorbed damage, and the final hit will damage enemies. So it just makes it stronger. You're going to rotate that gemstone shield with that hard light shield, and you're going to keep that totem and fortify golem anytime that they're off cooldown. You're going to put those up, and you're going to make sure you're keeping the aggression, keeping the attention towards you with that earth and grip. And that is earth tanking. I'm going to go give you a little bit of in-game action with it now. Head over to Bird of Prey Metropolis. I love to test against the calculator bot now that he's up. And oh, I'm not counting that. Let me still go down here to the teleporter. I like my base. 1 mini. There's a junk pile in the corner to hit 500. That's a tip if you don't know. You want to make sure you get 500 base items in your base out, because by having 500 base items, you get the max prestige that you can just by walking into that base once a week, which adds to your league's prestige, which is very important. You want everyone. You want to help buff everyone. Treat others as you want to be treated. We'll head to Bird of Prey Metro. Now remember that loadout and rotation. Your brick's always up, so you already have him up, but you want to clip that earth and grip with hard light shield, so that way you got that damage dissipator up, and you've got the aggression of the bosses or any enemies, additions, adds, whatever you want to. That way you've got everybody on you. You like Tupac. You want all eyes on you. So one of the cool things, when they put the calculator bot up, you can take the teleporter straight to them. So that's what we're going to do. And it doesn't matter if I've got help here or not. And I don't. But just to give you show you how it is, remember I've got my brick up, so I don't have to worry about that. Oh, one thing I didn't go over, I apologize. Sometimes I'm big and dumb before I jump in there. Remember your white mods, you want Fortified Assault, Accelerated Gemstone Shield, that way your shield comes off cooldown quicker, 10% quicker. Hardy, increase your health by 5%. I use that in almost every tank. I think that's great. There's really nothing there for your legs, so I don't have anything there. Deadly Block, if I do have to block, at the rare occasions that I do not want the enemies to get knocked away from me. Deadly Block knocks them down right beside me, so I like that very much. Regenerating Shield, it's not a big heal, but it is a heal. Any heal is better than no heal, so I really like having that in my hands there. I do not, for consumable, I use the chronometric emitters that stuns ads. You take a lot less damage and you help control the field. Once you stun those ads, they get up off the ground and come to you instead of your teammates. I don't have a breakout in the power, if you saw when I went over the power. So I use a breakout trinket. I think you have to have one. You can get one of those at any vendor, T1, T2 there in the watchtower. And you got to have that if you don't have a breakout power in, because there's going to be moments where you get stuck by power or get stuck in a spot and you need to break out and move, and it grants you immunity and breaks you out. I use the Boo Jr. trinket. I cannot stress enough how effective it is. It gives you a shield randomly, but man, he sure helps you tank, and that shield sure comes in handy. It saved my butt a bunch. I use a maxed out sidekick as well. He's going to give you power over time and heal you, plus giving you shielding. When he's maxed out, it does great. The Bottle City Soda maxed out for my soda consumable. And then artifacts, I used the Everyman Prototype. Mystical Symbol of the 7, which I think no matter what kind of power tank you are, you've got to use that one. It's an awesome one. And Manacles of Force, same deal. Don't care what kind of tank you are, you about have to use that one. It's a pretty awesome artifact. And it's not that hard to get them maxed up. You just got to play the game, and you can max them up. Alright, so there we go. Now let's go test this loadout and rotation. Remember now on the Boo and the Sidekick, you want to rotate either or. You don't want to waste them and have them both out at once. So remember, I'm going to start out with Earth and Grip. I'm going to clip it with the Hard Light Shield. Put that totem out. And there I've got some healing for brick. When that hard light shield starts, and you see I'm doing my pull, when I see that hard light shield getting about half cooldown, I'm going to hit the gemstone shield, and I'll combo it to get the max effect from it. In between, I'm hitting weapons combos so that I can keep buffing bricks. Because you do not get that same power regen like you do from the other powers. It's really power hungry for me. But here, even by myself, he's not killing me. But you see what I mean about the power. It's definitely a power hungry power set. I found that very much. I don't like how Brick dies in elite content when he gets hit by several ads. I do not like that part of it. They need to buff Brick, in my opinion, a little bit. But other than the toughest elite content, he doesn't die. He stays up. You just got to keep buffing and keep healing him with the fortified golem and keeping the totem up for him. Works really nice. I know, it is hard when you're by yourself. But there, I put my sidekick out. Just like I said, he heals me, and he's going to give me some power as well. Biggest thing is, remember that rotation. Remember to rotate those shields. Remember to combo that gemstone shield. You see there, even with me being hit and knocked down, I'm still able to combo that. Still able to cast that and have that extra protection from that shield, even in that controlled state. So there you have it. I don't like how power hungry it is and how I have to drink sodas. That's the only tank that I have to drink sodas while tanking the calculator bot. But you can keep yourself alive. You just rotate those shields, keep buffing Brick with your fortified golem and your totem, and make sure when you're casting that gemstone shield that you're comboing it so that you're getting that max effect, and that last hit, it's gonna hurt and do damage on others. Oh, he got back up that fast? I don't know how that was. Or did he wolf away? That was probably gonna pick him up, but he was gone. Pretty cool deal. But there's Earth, your 2020 Earth tank loadout and build. I hope that helps you. I really enjoyed being Earth. No doubt about it. I like brick tanking. Now, of course, you can aftershock tank. I didn't really test it, but from what I see about the aftershock tanking, essentially, you're just doing combos. It's kind of a battle tank deal, and that's fine if you want to tank that way. There's nothing wrong with that. But that's not the way I think. I'm more of a keep the attention on me, take a beating to keep the team alive type, and that's how I do my guys and my builds. And if you want an aftershock tank, there's plenty of information and guides out there about it. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, I ain't awesome. I'm dead. Thank you, cool. But I got to messing around, not paying attention. Got killed there. But hey, that happens. That's a good example of why I was talking right from the get-go about how Earth is really power hungry. Really power hungry. But that's okay. But that's Earth 2020. If you like the video, if it helped you, go ahead and hit like, share it with your friends, share your community. If you did like the video, go ahead and dislike it. Tell me why, so that I can get better. I'm all about getting better and being the best I can be, not only at DC, but in life. But I really love the game. I love where it's headed. The Wonderverse looks really cool to me. I know a lot of people are bitching and crying about it, but I'm not going to bitch or cry about anything without giving it a shot. It really looks cool to me. I'm interested in it and looking forward to it. But again, if you like the video, if it helps you, give it a like, give it a share, give me a comment, give me a dislike. Either way, whether you do or not, hey, Jesus loves you and I do too. God bless you and have a great day.